Good morning, my YouTube viewers. Actually, good afternoon. It's Palestine. And so basically, I'm carrying on from the video that I made yesterday that I had to stop because somebody came to my door. It was basically my neighbor who wanted to take my garbage out for me. And so, he does that for me. If I set the garbage outside, he takes my garbage out, which he doesn't have to do it, but he does it. So that's what he did, and that's why I had to stop my video. And then so, in addition to that, I couldn't go to church yesterday, and I was supposed to serve tea and coffee, but my boyfriend went to church stag. He went on his own, so I told him to be careful of these old pensioner ladies chatting him up, you know. He said he'd be on the lookout, be on his guard. And so he went to the church, and then he served the tea and coffee because I was too sick to. And the thing is I was thinking about it, I didn't want to go to church and give my cold to a lot of these really old ladies, older than me, because I thought that wouldn't be right because their immune systems might not be up to a cold. And so it would have been very inconsiderate of me to actually go to church and spread my germs around. And my friend, the dyslexic friend, he's actually like 18 or 19 years younger than me, and he was mad at me for spreading my cold around. So if he got the cold, I know definitely they would. And so he came over I told him to come at 12 because he wanted to drink his lip sip and come right over at 9:30. And I thought, I'm not going to be able to cope with this. I'm not going to be able to have him sitting at my table all day long and me trying to talk to him. You know, I just won't be able to do it because once he gets there, he just wants to stay. And it's hard to just sit and talk to somebody nonstop for hours on end. But because he can't read very well. He can read a few words, but because he can't read very well, he doesn't want to do things that require reading and writing. And so basically all he wants to do is sit there and talk, and I can't do it. I can't just talk to somebody for hours. So I told him to come over at 12 or 12:30. Well, he was over there at 12:30, and he got there just shortly before my boyfriend because my boyfriend came back from church. So he went to church, and he served the tea and coffee at church, and then he came back, and he brought me back some daffodils because yesterday was Mother's Day in the UK. Although I've never been given a Mother's Day card or a Mother's Day call or anything like that, he was kind enough just to bring me some daffodils. And basically, my friend, I gave him a COVID test because he was really sick and I wasn't well either. And we did the test. And so basically the test said that no, he didn't have COVID. And then so I didn't take a COVID test for myself. He said, aren't you going to take a COVID test for yourself? And I said, no, I'm not. I said, because if you've got COVID, I've got COVID. And he said, yeah, but we're not married. So he doesn't have a lot of understanding of things. I think he's been sheltered his entire life. And so he doesn't really understand that you can catch a virus from somebody, you know, just from being near them. And so I do think he's been very sheltered his entire life. And then so my sister rang up, and my sister said, I told my sister that I was giving him a COVID test. And my sister said, well, you look pretty healthy for somebody who has COVID. And the thing is that what happened to my sister's son-in-law is he got COVID, and he was a big guy. And he got COVID, and he actually died from it. So my sister's just thinking that if you get COVID, then you're automatically going to have to go into the hospital and you're going to have to be put on a ventilator. But you can get COVID and not be put in the hospital and not be put on a ventilator, because COVID affects everybody differently, and that's one of the reasons why it's such a dangerous virus. For example, a few years ago, my boyfriend's mother gave me COVID. Well, she definitely had COVID, but her symptoms were not really bad, but she passed the COVID on to me, and my symptoms were really bad. So it really just depends. Everybody's immune system is different, and everybody deals with COVID differently, which is one of the reasons why it's such a dangerous virus. But fortunately, my friend didn't have COVID, and so I'm just going to take it that I didn't have COVID either, because if he didn't have COVID, I'm just assuming I didn't have COVID. And then my friend, he gave my boyfriend his bus pass back. And then, so we were glad about that, because I talked to my boyfriend about it. My boyfriend never should have given him his bus pass, because this guy has got a job working 35 to 40 hours a week. He's definitely making minimum wage. I'm not sure exactly. I mean, he showed me his pay slip, so I know that he's definitely getting minimum wage. And my boyfriend should not have given him his bus pass. My boyfriend should have told him that, look, you've got a job, you're working 40 hours a week, you're on minimum wage, you can afford to buy a bus pass. But my boyfriend, because he's a kind person, he's a kind-hearted person, he gave this guy his bus pass. And I was really mad about it, because this guy is putting money into an ISA. That's an individual savings account, and you get a higher rate of interest on an ISA than you do a different type of savings account. So if this guy is putting money in an ISA, he definitely can afford to get a bus pass. That's what it's called. It's called savings, And he was also complaining to me that he has to pay council tax. Well, he's got a 3-bedroom house, which he inherited, and he's complaining that he has to pay council tax. Well, my council tax, I've got a tiny little studio apartment, and my council tax is only £100 less than his a month. And so he's complaining about having to pay council tax. He complains about any bill that he has to pay, because he is incredibly mean with money. He's very miserly. And I know he's in a bad marriage, and this wife that's living with him but doesn't speak to him or anything, doesn't have any communication with him at all, she's running up the bills, and I know that. And I'm trying to help him with his heating bill, to get his heating bill reduced. But he's very miserly. In fact, on Saturday night, I sent him a message, because you have to send him voice messages. And so I sent him a message, and I said, well, we're going over to McDonald's. And I said, I know that you don't want to pay for food. I said, but my boyfriend doesn't have the money. He can't afford to buy your dinner for you. Because this guy wants other people to buy his dinner for him. And that's what we've been doing, because we've been going and getting chicken and chips. And the past 2 weeks, he hasn't contributed any money towards the chicken and chips, not even £5. And so we've been buying the chicken and chips, and he hasn't been contributing. And I don't mind sharing my dinner with him, but I'm not going to make him a special meal, and I'm not going to buy him a special meal, because there's a difference between sharing your dinner with somebody and making them special food and buying them special food. And I know people wouldn't even do that for me. I mean, I had friends, and they wouldn't even make a meal for me. They wouldn't even share their dinner with me, And this guy, I'm sharing my dinner with him. We're giving him fish and chips and everything like that. But that's where I drew the line. I drew the line at buying him food at McDonald's. and then in the end, we didn't go to McDonald's. We went to Five Guys because I wanted to celebrate me getting my benefits back. And so basically, that was it. That's what happened. My boyfriend did get his bus pass back, and I told my boyfriend not to give him his bus pass again, because if this guy can afford to put money in a savings account, an ISA, any savings account, he can afford to buy a bus pass. And it was really out of order for him to take my boyfriend's bus pass. But because my boyfriend is kind-hearted, he gave him the bus pass. But he said he's not going to do that again. He said that if this guy has a job, is working, and can put money in savings, then he can buy a bus pass. And so he's not getting the bus pass off my boyfriend anymore. And he's definitely not getting my bus pass, because my bus pass has my picture on it. And so if he tries to use my bus pass, then people will know that he is committing fraud. And so that was it. And then I came into work, and I had all these plans about work, and these plans have changed because so tomorrow morning I'm going to have to get up and leave really early and go to the train station and get these newspapers. I've got to get 30 newspapers for recruitment purposes. So that's what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to have to leave from my house about an hour early just to go to the train station, see if I can get some free newspapers to take to this recruitment day. So I'm going to have a lot of things that I have to do outside of work for work, because that's just part of the job. I just have to do everything that needs to be done, and one of the things that needs to be done is I need to get newspapers, and then I need to do other things as well to prepare for this recruitment day. So I'm just assuming that I'm going to spend the rest of the week preparing for a recruitment day, which is going to require me to probably leave my house early, which will require me to leave my house early, go to the train station, get free newspapers, and then bring them back into the office where I work. And that's just part of the nature of the job, and I won't get reimbursed for that. That's just part of things that I have to do at my place of work. So I'm going to go ahead and conclude this video, because it's just a carry on from the video that I did yesterday, because I wanted to let you know what happened to my boyfriend's bus pass. And then in addition to that, I had lots more things that I wanted to discuss about clothes and makeup and stuff like that, because of my opinions about clothes and makeup and stuff like that. But now I'm going to be so busy preparing for the recruitment day next week, I don't think I'm going to be able to talk about that until at least the recruitment day's over. And then when the recruitment day's over, then I have to prepare for the interview day. So I'm not sure exactly when I will be able to talk about hair and makeup, but I will talk about it at some point. And obviously next week I get my mammogram, which I will be making a video about that. So I'm going to be pretty stressed out, preparing for recruitment day. And after recruitment day's over, then I have to prepare for the interview days. And then after interview day's over, then you have to prepare to get all the people who they have decided they want on board. So thank you for watching my video. If you like my video, please like and subscribe, and I'll be making another video for you very soon.